and as I've now got the two pairs from the original Spezial capsule, I'm going to aim to try and get every pair from the first Spezial capsule. Well, I stuck to my word. 3 out of 5 trainers from the original Spezial release from back in 2014. This is the 3rd trainer, and in my opinion, probably the best. Hello everyone and welcome back to another edition of the Spezial Ron. I'm your host Ronnie Parsons, as you all know. Now today I'm talking about something very special. I'm a very happy boy indeed. I found an all-time grail, for me especially, and for a lot of collectors out there. A lot of people have them, a lot of people don't. I'm glad to say that after the weekend I've spent a certain amount of money and I've now got these trainers in my possession. So a little bit of backstory behind this trainer. The first Spezial release from 2014 included 5 trainers: the Boston, Hand-Burg, Touring, the Adidas Ardwick, never heard of that one, not too sure, and the Topanga. The Adidas Topanga was inspired by the Adidas California, so it's virtually a one-of-one, very similar to the vintage trainer from, I believe, the 70s. The Adidas California was the choice by Gary Aspen & Co. When creating the first Spezial release. They thought, we want this trainer to be in the first release. Went to Adidas, spoke to them, spoke to the legal team, and they said because of legal reasons they couldn't use the name California. So upon doing some digging, they landed on the name Topanga, which is like a neighbourhood, an area within California itself. Now the Adidas Topanga is very sought after, and it's become one of them pairs that are like a grail, obviously for me, and a rare pair over the years, but I'll be honest, I'm not sure why. They weren't in limited numbers in the first Spezial release. I imagine there was obviously a certain amount of stock and not everybody got it back in the day, and the resale value and stuff is mental regardless. But like the Ardwick have become a rarity purely because of the limited number. The trainer's not anything special, but it's the limited number of, there was only 500 in the world, that has added to its resale value and the reason that the Ardwick is known about in the Adidas community. Whereas the Topanga, I feel like it's not as much as the Ardwick resale, believe me, but you're still having to pay, I've seen some for 500, 300, 400 pounds on eBay just to get a worn pair of Topangas. So it is a really, really weird market and just baffles me and adds to the story of Adidas reselling. And in my eyes, the Topanga and Ardwick are brothers in arms. You've got the Ardwick, whatever way you say it, is a green Topanga, and the Topanga is the orange Ardwick. They're one of the same exact trainer, like I say, inspired by the Adidas California. And then the Ardwick came along in collaboration with the Manchester-based retailer Oi Polloi, rest in peace to Oi Polloi, and just created the Ardwick trainer. 1 in 500, a bit more of a special occasion to mark the first Spezial release. But for me, the Topanga is where it's at. So without further ado, let's get into the review of the Adidas Topanga. And there you go. It's an orange Ardwick, but it's a beautiful trainer nonetheless. I am still gobsmacked I've actually got these, to be honest, because this is a trainer that's like, people put pictures on, and years ago when I was first sort of getting into, obviously, the trainer world and researching everything, and I'm looking and I'm just going, oh, fucking hell, I'd love to have a pair of them one day. I used to think that about the Ardwicks, Liam Gallagher's, Topangas, all these different trainers, but now I've actually got a pair in my possession, collection, whatever. I think it's a chapter. It's a new chapter, 100%. So, first question: how on earth, as a 20-year-old Ronnie Parsons, acquired the Topanga SPZL? Where brand new in box with tags, my size 9. How on earth have I pulled that off? The main answer is Vinted. So I was scrolling Vinted one night about 1 o'clock in the morning, and first thing that popped up, I seen orange. Instantly I knew. Instantly I was like, okay, Topangas. Clicked on. The price shocked me. The price did shock me. They were still there. Looked through all the pictures. There weren't as many pictures as I've liked, but still enough to me to be going, yeah, that's a Topanga. Brand new in box with tags, size 9, Spezial swing tag, box. That's another thing, the box in perfect condition as well. For £275 before postage and packaging, whatever. And I thought it was a joke at first. I thought they were a fake, because there's been a lot of fakes have coming about of Spezials recently, and a lot of Adidas trainers. More of the Spezial stuff, there's been a lot of fakes of that I've seen on Instagram and stuff recently. So I was just thinking, could it be? I'm not sure. Took a gamble, asked the bloke if he could reserve them. He said no, so I had to patiently wait until I had the money in the hand. and that was it. Bought them, so they were still there. So it was fate that I got them in the end. So in total, with postage, packaging, delivery, goods and services, bloody shoes, whatever, £292 I paid for these Topangas, which I think is a good deal. I speak to my missus and I showed her the trainers. I ain't got a clue what's going on with the trainer. I ain't got a clue. It's just an orange trainer to her. But I said £292. I said that's really cheap. You don't understand. And she was like, how is that cheap? If you're in the Adidas world, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Cheap as chips, I think, for these. Like, genuinely, considering you can pay almost double that for a pair that's worn and stuff like that. So I'm very happy to have the Topangas in my collection for less than £300. So, the bare basics of the Topanga SPZL. So, 2014, as you know, the whole Ardwick and stuff, like the connection. It is inspired by the Adidas California, that same colourway. It's like I don't know what colourway I'd say that is. It's more of a muddy orange. It's an orange trainer. That's what I'd say. Instantly, the colour, it's orange. But it's like a muddy, more dusty, verging on brown orange compared to like a neon, you know, bright orange. I think in the Adidas California, I think they were originally like a brown, more of a brown colour. All the pictures that I've seen, whether that was because of the vintage catalogue and the pictures look different, but it's an orange trainer, right? You've got felt stripes, like very, very fine sort of felt, fuzzy sort of material. Same on the back tab as well. It's leather lined in the side. It's got that lovely, which is such a vintage feel for me. It's got the lovely tongue with the Adidas, golden Adidas embossed on there. And then this was 08 of 14, so 2014, over 10 years old now, 11 years old to be precise. You've got that sponge on the tongue as well, really, really in keeping with that vintage, similar to the Adidas California. Again, it could be a one of one. I've not seen too many pictures of the California, so don't quote me on it. And then the Adidas Spezial footbed, which is on the same as the other two trainers from 2014, which I do own. And it's sort of like that terry tailing material. Again, I feel like only some of the new Spezial releases, that's got on the footbed, it's that. Some are just that normal spongy material. But some do have the terry tailing sort of material in there, so interesting detail there. And then on the Topangas, you've got that robust sole. Forgive me, I don't know what the material is. Obviously, it's that gum sole, but it's really, really not hard. And the reason I mention the fact of this is a bit like of a hard sole is because on the 2024 Ardwick, it's not the same trainer, obviously, it's the Ardwick, but it's the same sole, same built-up of trainer. But that sole is so like, I can basically bend the gum back. That's how flimsy that sole is. And that trainer, the Ardwick has sort of gone down in my estimations. When I first did that Q video, I was buzzing to get an Ardwick re-release. But as the time has gone on, it's become a kind of not a burden. It's one of them. It's not the first trainer I gravitate to anymore. Put it like that. But this is really a hard, robust sole. So I imagine it'll add that comfort. And will it cause discomfort? That's the thing. I've heard some people say that they're really, really uncomfy and they're not a fan and stuff like that. So it's an interesting thing. Obviously, it's personal preference as well. So the size of the Topangas, I have not actually tried these on. So I'm going to try them on right now and give you a live review of the actual sizing and comparison of the Adidas Topanga. Right, so I'm going to slip off the Blackburn Spezial, and that's what I was talking about as well with that Spezial footbed, which actually, funnily enough, is that terry tailing material. That's really weird. But yeah, this is the Blackburn Ewood from 2021. Yeah, lovely trainer. Get the sock out here, and oh yeah. So they're a bit robust on there. So they instantly feel like more snug and like fitted. But I don't know if that's just because of the style of trainer it is. And it's a lot more sort of robust, if that makes sense. The way they build it up, like these are a bit more. I've noticed a lot on Spezial releases recently, is that they're dead like flimsy look after a couple of wears. Like that's dead. That's like my foot. You can see my toe coming through, and that's something with the 2024 Ardwick you can feel. But these, oh no, see they're the bollocks. I'm only falling up the wall there. Yeah, that is. It is a bit of a pinch there, don't get me wrong, but I think after multiple wears, they'll be alright then. Let me slip them both on with the tags, come on. They come with no tissue paper, luckily, so. Yeah. One thing I do know instantly is that these will die in the jeans. Your jeans will definitely die, these trainers. Not a shadow of a doubt. I can't believe this is taking it to a new level. With people that wear the swing tags out as well, wearing the actual tag of the trainer. Yeah. Yeah, they're alright, you know. What do you think, Bill?
Yeah, lovely.
Look alright, yeah. Right, I'm off out of town now, goodbye. I can feel my toe pinching now, I must say. I'd say go true to size, because it's one of them that the more, obviously if you do looking at getting a pair, I'd say go true to size purely because this is my size, they do fit, they're not, it's just they are fitting a bit more on the bridge of my foot, like here. They're a bit more snug. So that is really strange, because they feel a lot more robust. And obviously back then, 10 years quality control, like for example, like them look, I've worn these, obviously it's a different type of trainer anyway. A lot of people are saying obviously the quality control has gone down for Adidas over the years, but yeah, interesting, very, very interesting. I don't know if it's because I've not tied it with this one. It feels a lot looser than this one. I feel like I'm shopping with my mum for school shoes again, and you lot are just watching me. Yeah, okay, interesting. Adidas Topanga, if you are going to go for them, go for your own size, that's what I'd say. If you've got a bit of a wider foot, maybe go half size up. If it's a matter of, you know, life and death of you're looking for your size, they don't have it, but they've got an half size up, brand new box with tags for a certain price, go for that. You can always swap if you're desperate for them. Just obviously, if you're a 9, don't get buying a 13 or a 12, which you wouldn't find a 13 anyway, but don't get buying a massive size just for the sake of buying them. So, yeah, I'm happy with them. Decent purchase. Back to the table. So yeah, very interesting. Adidas Topanga, like I say, go for your size. If you can't find your size, doing half up won't kill you. You won't feel much of a difference. If you like them a bit more over-fitting anyway, definitely go for a size up, because these are perfect fitting for me. Like I say, a little bit tight. They are brand new. They haven't been touched in 10 years, so they might take a little bit of breaking in. But go for your size, or if you like them a bit more roomy, go for a half size up. So, like I said in the video reviewing the Boston and the Hand-Burg, I'd love to try and get all 5 from the first ever Spezial release from back in 2014. The Hand-Burg, got them. Boston, got them. Topanga, obviously I've got them now. Only 2 left. I'm half the way there. Got past the point of no return, I think. Just need to get the Touring and the infamous Orange Ardwick. Now, I feel like with the Topanga, I'm one step closer to the Ardwick, because I've got the Ardwick. It's just orange. It's exactly the same. Apart from the different laces, different colour, it's pretty much the same, and the detail of the white label on the tongue. It's virtually the same exact shoe. So, it'd be interesting to potentially get my hands on the Adidas Ardwick one day, fingers crossed. Although the Touring does not bother me at all. I think it's an ugly trainer, if I do say so myself. It's not the best looking trainer. A lot of people didn't like the Boston, thought that was a little bit ugly. I definitely did at first. I weren't a massive fan until now. It's probably one of my favourite trainers. So, it's always different once you get them in hand. Trainers is a funny game. Sometimes you like them, sometimes you don't. It just depends. But I'm glad I've got these 3. These were the 3 I'd have picked out of, obviously, the 5. Adidas Ardwick, I knew there'd be no way. So if I had to have any 3, I'm glad it is these 3 and not the Touring instead of like the Bostons or something. But yeah, it's really interesting as well. It does show the whole of the identity of Adidas Spezial. How you've got this, what I imagine the Adidas California would have been a leisure, but also a training shoe in the Adidas Topanga. You've got the runners inspired by, it was a pair of Boston Super with the sole of a ZX trainer. I can't remember what the sole was now. And then the iconic mashup of 2 very iconic trainers from the whole of Adidas. Forget Spezial, the whole of Adidas in general. The Hand-Burg and the Hand-Burg SPZL on the top. A lot of people say it's gone downhill as obviously the years have gone on. I think Spezial is very hit and miss sometimes. It does get it right, and other times it gets it wrong. I think it's one of them that it's catered for a certain market, but I feel like over the years now, it's got into a point where it's becoming a bit more mainstream and a bit more marketed. But if more people want to buy it, that's completely fine. We can't gatekeep something, but I think a lot of people believe that Spezial was made for the fans. So it's one of those that as the years go on, which direction is it going to go in? And in terms of Spezial trainers anyway, a lot of people have said that the Topanga is the best Spezial trainer ever made. It's one and believe me, it's not one of them I'm just like, wow, that's phenomenal. And it's not, I get the hype about it. It's a lovely trainer. It's an absolute beauty. But it's probably not my favourite, I will say. I'd say out of these, if I had to pick life or death, it would probably either be the Bostons or Topangas. It's one of the two. Hand-Burg, they can probably sit because I don't want to wear them anyway. Yeah, there's a lot more of Spezial trainers that have been out and about over the years that I probably prefer over the Topangas. I'd say the Barrowland are up there for me. To name, I couldn't probably name any more. Training 76, beautiful trainer. There's a load of trainers that I'm obsessed with, and it's just the whole point of this channel and my existence in the Adidas world. So we'll soon see in the direction that Adidas Spezial goes in the next year, 5 years, 10 years. Will we get another release of the Topanga like we did with the Ardwick? Could there be another decade pack, but like in the 15 years or in the 20-year celebration, or what could we potentially be getting now that we've been going for 10 years plus? Topanga re-release. I would love to see another re-release of the Hand-Burg SPZL because I think that's a beautiful trainer. Maybe in a different colourway if it had different stripes and whatnot. We don't know. But yeah, that has been me. I've been the Spezial Ron, throwing it back to the first ever Spezial release from 2014. So thank you all for watching this episode of the Spezial Ron. I've been your host, Ronnie Parsons. Do you have the Topangas? Do you want to own them? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you at some point.